Hey there, Sunshine State driver. Florida driver's license test, 75 questions and answers. Q1. What is the legal blood alcohol concentration, BAC, limit for a driver in Florida who is 21 or older? A. The legal BAC limit is 0.08%. Q2. How many points are added to your license if you are speeding in a school zone? A. 6 points are added to your license if you are found to be speeding in a school zone. Q3. What is the rule for a vehicle approaching an intersection with a flashing yellow light? A. A flashing yellow light means you must slow down and proceed with caution. Q4. What is the minimum age to obtain a Florida learner's permit? A. The minimum age is 15 years old. Q5. What should you do if an emergency vehicle with flashing lights and sirens is approaching you from behind? A. You must pull over to the closest edge of the roadway, clear of an intersection, and stop. Q6. What is Florida's move over law? A. When you see a stopped emergency or service vehicle with flashing lights on the side of the road, you must move into a lane farther away, or slow to a speed 20 miles per hour below the posted speed limit if you cannot move over. Q7. What is the standard speed limit in a residential or business district in Florida unless otherwise posted? A. The speed limit is 30 miles per hour. Q8. What does a flashing red traffic light mean? A. It means you must come to a complete stop and proceed only when the way is clear, just like a stop sign. Q9. When can you pass a vehicle on the right? A. You can only pass on the right when the vehicle you are passing is making or about to make a left turn, or if there are 2 or more lanes of traffic moving in the same direction. Q10. How far in advance must you signal before making a turn? A. You must signal at least 100 feet before turning. Question 11. What does a double solid yellow line in the center of the road mean? A. It means that traffic is moving in opposite directions and passing is not permitted in either direction. Question 12. What does a broken yellow line on your side of the road mean? A. It means you are allowed to pass other vehicles when it is safe to do so. Question 13. What is the maximum speed limit on a limited access highway? A. The maximum speed limit is typically 70 miles per hour unless otherwise posted. Question 14. What should you do when you approach a railroad crossing with a flashing signal and no safety gates? A. You must come to a complete stop within 50 feet, but no closer than 15 feet of the crossing. Question 15. True or false? You can be issued a ticket for driving too slowly. A. True. Driving too slowly can impede traffic and is considered a violation. Question 16. What are the penalties for a first-time DUI conviction in Florida? A. Penalties can include fines, jail time, and a minimum 6-month license suspension. Question 17. At a 4-way stop, if 2 vehicles arrive at the same time, who has the right of way? A. The vehicle on the right has the right of way. Question 18. Who is responsible for ensuring passengers under 18 wear a seatbelt in Florida? A. The driver is responsible for all passengers under 18 wearing a seatbelt. Question 19. What does a white painted curb mean? A. A white curb means you may stop only long enough to pick up or drop off passengers. Q. 20. What is the purpose of a triangular yield sign? A. It means you must slow down and be prepared to stop to give the right-of-way to other vehicles or pedestrians. Question 21. When a school bus is stopped on a 2-lane highway with its stop sign out and red lights flashing, what must you do? A. You must stop, regardless of which direction you are traveling. Question 22. What is the only exception to stopping for a school bus? A. When a school bus is on a divided highway with a raised median or a concrete barrier and you are traveling in the opposite direction, you are not required to stop. Q. 23. When should you use your high beam headlights? A. You should use them on open highways when there are no other cars approaching you or in front of you. Question 24. How far must you park from a fire hydrant in Florida? A. You must park at least 15 feet away from a fire hydrant. Question 25. What is the maximum speed limit in a school zone? A. The maximum speed limit is 20 miles per hour during school hours unless otherwise posted. Question 26. What should you do if your car starts to hydroplane? A. Ease your foot off the gas pedal, steer straight ahead, and do not hit the brakes. Q. 27. If you are involved in a minor crash with no injuries, what should you do? A. You should move your vehicle out of the main lanes of traffic if it is safe to do so. Question 28. What does a 5-sided sign with a symbol of a person walking mean? A. It is a school zone sign. Question 29. What is a blind spot? A. A blind spot is an area around your vehicle that you cannot see using your mirrors. You must turn your head and look over your shoulder to check it. Q30. What is Florida's no-fault insurance law? A. It requires drivers to have personal injury protection, PIP, insurance to cover their own injuries in a crash, regardless of who is at fault. Q31. What is the hand signal for a left turn? A. The driver's left arm is extended straight out to the left. Q32. What is the hand signal for a right turn? A. The driver's left arm is extended upward at a 90-degree angle. Q33. What is the hand signal for slowing or stopping? A. The driver's left arm is extended downward at a 90-degree angle. Q34. What is the penalty for texting while driving in Florida? A. Texting while driving is a primary offense in Florida and can result in a fine. Q35. What does a solid white line on the side of the road indicate? A. It marks the outer edge of the roadway, also known as the fog line. Q36. When are you required to have children under the age of 5 secured in a federally approved child restraint seat? A. At all times while in the vehicle. Children aged 4 and 5 can use a booster seat. Q37. What is the purpose of a traffic circle or roundabout? A. It is designed to allow traffic to move continuously without stopping. Vehicles already in the circle have the right of way. Q38. What should you do if you are in a crash and there is an injury? A. Call 911 immediately and do not move the injured person unless absolutely necessary. Q39. What is the main cause of most traffic crashes? A. Driver error. Q40. If you miss your exit on a highway, what should you do? A. Continue to the next exit and turn around. Do not stop or back up on the highway. Q41. What should you do if you are being followed too closely by another vehicle? A. Increase your following distance from the vehicle in front of you and gently reduce your speed to encourage the tailgater to pass. Q42. What should you do if your gas pedal gets stuck? A. Shift to neutral, apply the brakes, and steer to a safe location off the road. Q43. When you are parking uphill with a curb, which way should you turn your wheels? A. Turn your wheels away from the curb. Q44. When you are parking downhill, which way should you turn your wheels? A. Turn your wheels toward the curb or shoulder. Q45. What should you do when driving in a heavy thunderstorm? A. Slow down, use your low beam headlights, and increase your following distance. If the storm is too severe, pull over to a safe location. Q46. How do you determine the correct stopping distance? A. Your stopping distance is the sum of your reaction time and your braking distance. Q47. What should you do when a pedestrian is in a crosswalk? A. You must always yield and stop for pedestrians in a crosswalk. Question 48. What must you do if you are involved in a minor accident and your vehicle is blocking the flow of traffic. A. Move your vehicle out of the main lanes of traffic if it is safe to do so. Q. 49. What does a solid yellow line to the right of a broken yellow line on your side of the road mean? A. It means you can pass other vehicles on the left, but only when it is safe to do so. Q50. What are the 3 categories of distracted driving? A. Visual, manual, and cognitive. Q51. What is the purpose of the Florida Financial Responsibility Law? A. It requires all drivers to be financially responsible for their own vehicles and for any damage they may cause. Q52. What is the maximum speed limit on rural interstate highways? A. The maximum speed limit is 70 miles per hour. Q53. What is the minimum speed on a highway where the posted speed limit is 70 miles per hour? A. The minimum speed is 50 miles per hour. Q54. What is the penalty for leaving the scene of an accident involving injury or death? I. This is a serious offense with severe penalties, including fines, license suspension, and possible prison time. Q55. What are the time restrictions for a motorist with a learner's license? A. For the first 3 months, driving is only permitted during daylight hours. After 3 months, driving is allowed until 10 p.m. Q56. What education course are you required to take if you are applying for a learner's license? A. You must complete a traffic law and substance abuse education, TLSAE course. Q57. What should you do if your vehicle starts to skid? A. Take your foot off the gas pedal, do not use your brakes, and turn your steering wheel in the direction you want the front of the car to go. Q58. What does a slow-moving vehicle sign look like? A. It is a reflective orange triangle on the rear of the vehicle. Q59. What should you do if you see a cyclist on the road?
A. Be aware of cyclists, as they have the same rights as motor vehicles. Give them plenty of space and be prepared to yield. Q. 60. When driving in fog, what lights should you use? A. You should use your low-beam headlights. Q. 61. How far must high-beam headlights show objects ahead? A. High-beam headlights must be able to show objects at least 450 feet ahead. Q. 62. What are the time restrictions for a licensed motorist under age 17? A. You cannot drive between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. unless accompanied by a licensed driver who is 21 or older. Q63. What are the time restrictions for a licensed motorist under age 18? A. You cannot drive between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. unless accompanied by a licensed driver who is 21 or older. Q64. What is the purpose of a no passing sign? A. It indicates a section of road where passing is not allowed. Q65. What does a red circle with a white line through it mean? A. It means that the action shown on the sign is prohibited. Q66. What is the 3-second rule?
A. It is a way to determine a safe following distance. You should stay at least 3 seconds behind the vehicle in front of you. Q67. If you are under 18, how many hours of supervised driving experience are required to get your Class E driver's license? A. You need to log 50 hours, with 10 hours of that being at night. Q68. What does a flashing yellow arrow mean? A. It means you can turn in the direction of the arrow, but you must first yield to oncoming traffic and pedestrians. Q69. What is the most common reason for new drivers to fail the driving test? A. Failing to signal, not checking mirrors or blind spots, and not coming to a complete stop. Q70. What is the penalty for a conviction of racing on the highway? A. Penalties can include fines, license suspension, and even vehicle impoundment. Q71. What is the purpose of an anti-lock braking system? ABS. A. ABS helps prevent the wheels from locking up during a hard stop, allowing you to maintain steering control. Q72. What is the purpose of a keep right sign? A. It directs drivers to stay in the right-hand lane and only use the left-hand lane for passing. Q73. When must you stop for a law enforcement officer who has pulled you over? A. You must pull over immediately to the nearest safe location and stop. Q74. What does a red arrow on a traffic signal mean? A. A red arrow means you must stop and wait for a green signal or green arrow to proceed. Q75. What should you do if your tires blow out? A. Hold the steering wheel firmly. Take your foot off the gas pedal and allow the vehicle to slow down gradually. Do not hit the brakes. For more questions, practice tests, and other study resources, head over to DMVTestMaster.com. Remember, the key to passing is preparation. Use DMVTestMaster.com to prepare with confidence, study smart, and you'll be on the road with your new license in no time. Master the test, conquer the road.